Hey, this is Janelle, and I'm coming with my beautiful client from last week. And since 12 strand activation is relatively new in the world of healing and energetics, I wanted to give you some accurate testimony for not that I haven't been working for 30 years, but just from someone else's perspective of receiving it and kind of her backstory. So I'll let her start to share with you about her journey.
So I've had a rough childhood. I've never had a dad in the home. My mom's a single mom. She works very hard, but it's very hard to juggle so many things at once. So some things were neglected in the household, and some things were brought into her and I guess our lives that caused her to make some choices with friends, and one of her friends ended up doing something really wrong with me, and I had a really rough time getting over that, and I feel like alcohol is one of the main factors in these slip-ups as my mom made. Yes, I feel every parent should have their time, but my mom kind of abused that, and it became a regular basis, daily. And she made friends that were in the same boat who made the same choices. And I feel like the choices they made really affected who I am and who I was before our session. And I made some silly choices myself, and it was really affecting like how I made friends and how like I applied myself. Yeah. And yeah, like I had almost slim to no friends because I just felt hard to like get back out there and meet new people because I was scared of being hurt again, and it affected my relationship and everything like that just happened in my life. And I came to Janelle and I was like, I need your help. And she basically just like opened up my horizons, and whenever she was going through like everything and talking me through it, like I just felt so at peace. Like I felt okay for once in a few years, and it was just like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Would you say you had like PTSD and trauma from what you went through?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I had serious, like, I refused to get a job in a restaurant because I was scared of men coming up to me. I was scared of, like, I just had major PTSD with, like, making new friends and just getting back out there in the world, because my mom involved me with so many negative people that I just didn't know any better, and I just didn't want to involve myself with anybody because that's all I ever knew. And so now coming to Janelle, like, I have so many new opportunities and new people around me that are positive and are all for healing, and I've just never experienced that. My version of healing with what I was shown growing up was drinking my problems away, and or smoking them away, and that's just not a way of healing. That's a way of I don't know how to say it, like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
Yeah, like a bullet wound. And like you're empathic, right?
Yeah, I'm very
empathic. You've been empathic since you can remember, right?
Oh yeah, I've always taken other people's emotions and like made it personal, because like I just don't know, like I always have just like cared so much about people, and I took it in the wrong way, and I just like I didn't know how to control it, and I just like helped the wrong people, and like I take on other people's emotions, and it makes me emotional. When I see someone cry, I cry.
Yeah. And so when I did the activation on you, but I also removed things from you. Did you feel those things coming off of you, like the entities and all of that?
So I didn't know what it was at the time. I was like, what is going on? But I felt like my arms were shaky, like twitching, like when she first started, I was super like, my heart was racing, like I felt like I was gonna black out. Like I was super I felt like like I was having a heart attack almost. And then when she put her hand on me and started working her magic, I like it was water cooling. Like, you know how waves like are crashing in? It was just like a soothe, like it was crashing and then it soothed in like a second. Yeah. And I just felt like calm, like I felt okay.
For the first time.
Yeah, in a while. Like I've always had like a racing heart and I always get super worked up in situations because I have all this built up negative and all these, like I had an entity, like you said, and like I was always on edge, and that was the first time like I didn't feel like I had to be on my toes and on edge. Like I felt
Did you feel like different parts in your brain getting activated?
Yes, like I felt a bunch of openings, like, oh, what is this? What is that? Like, I just felt like, oh, these are so many things like I want to do, and like so many things I want to pursue in my life. Like, it's not just all negative. Like, I can do so much more. Like, I've never ever wanted to go out with friends or anything, and I've done that all week, and I like
I'm excited.
I'm enjoying life, and I'm making friends at school. Like, I'm finally like finding my circle, and it's like everything is so much better.
Yeah. Well, and so with Lindy, one of the things that I worked on was the neural pathways within the brain and the chemical response that was triggered by her trauma early on, and then reinforced by, parenting and, neglect and things like that. So what happens in those situations is, especially within family lines, it can go generationally. Like I have goosebumps everywhere. It can go generationally through families until someone breaks it. And Lindy is one of those chain breakers. And most people who are empathic and intuitive are the chain breakers for their family. And what occurs is that weight for the empath becomes unbearable, because it also has the negative, which you were experiencing, the entity and the shadow side that wants you to go down that same pathway, and creating that opening allowed you to feel and then know something different.
Like I don't like sharing this, but I will. My mom is an alcoholic, and I've been trying for years to get her to get help, and I took on some of those bad factors of addiction and like covering up my problems with negative things that weren't going to help my future. And I started following the followers, and oh, this is cool, like my mom does it. And now I'm like taking a step back and like really looking at like who I want to be and what I need to do to be that person.
Yeah. So you like took your power away from the conditions.
Yes.
To create your own pathway.
Yes.
That is freaking fantastic, because, when you're in that struggle and you can't see anything other than what based on, conditioning from family, belief systems, all of those things. And even if you've been on like a spiritual path for a while, some of those strongholds that I say are difficult to remove on your own, because they're wired with entity attachment and addiction, and, even soft addictions can play a part in that too.
Yeah.
Like, thumbing through the phone and, things like that. But 12 strand activation works on not just the body. It works on, like I said, the neural pathways. It connects you with different places and rewires your brain to seize opportunities and to bring things to you. But it also relaxes your nervous system and allows you to feel differently in the world, and then discern what you want to give your attention to. And so it's not coming from that place of, it's not coming from that place of fight or flight or survival mode, which most empaths, in my experience, have. And then it resets the entire body and then allows you to have the awareness to make and feel those different decisions, and then people respond to you differently, right?
It's like, so I wanted to do better in life, and like I had all of like I had everything in my brain ready to go. I just didn't take that first step. And coming to Janelle, like I just like, it gave me the push, like that little push I needed to get my foot through the door and just, you know, finally take that first step of mine. And I've been like, this week has been so like, I don't want to say weird because it's not weird. It's fantastic of like everything changing. It's a good change.
Do you see the world around you responding differently to you?
It's like now before I think and say anything, I'm waiting and I'm like, okay, this is what I have and now this is where I'm going. It really makes me think about like what I need to do, and like it makes me make smarter choices, and oh, is this going to help me in the future? Is this going to grow me as a person?
Yeah. And she's been around me for, what, 2 years?
2 years now.
Yeah. And I've never done a session on her. She's never asked me for a session. Yeah. But, you know, for me, you know, being that you have been around me, you know, for that long, you know that my back life, my personal life matches what I'm doing with people. Like I'm not doing something and saying something, you know, just for online and not actually being that or doing that in life. Yes. And that's one of the things I think you can say is like, there's no misalignment there on my back end life, meaning the life you don't see. It is congruent and synergistic throughout, and you've seen crazy things happen with me. Like the fun stuff, like, you know, pots jumping off
and fire. Like I've seen pictures of her having holy fire?
Yeah.
Holy fire on her chest after was it a speech?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've like, she carries this positive energy with her, and I've always wanted like to take that first step, but I've always been scared because I've only known negative. And I just want to say, like, take that first step and go for it. Like, don't be scared. She's not going to hurt you. She doesn't bite.
But I am very honest, though.
Yes, she will tell you very honest things that scare you, but you know, it's for the best because she knows the best.
Yeah. Well, and so if you're interested in doing a 12-strand DNA activation, I can actually do those remotely. So wherever you are at in the world, we would set up a time, and it works the same as it does in person. And it's no issue as far as that goes. We just set up the time, book the session. I'll put the link in the comments below for the 12-strand activation. It's been 30 years for me. I've hit the ground awake. So for me, this is just another progression in my gifts and talents coming fully on board and being embodied as a soul. And this is the right time for humanity to wake up and to start to change our world around us. Because as you can tell, you know, Lindy's young, but if all intuitives can get their hands on that activation and that benefit of waking up to the fullest potential of their soul, it changes the world around us. And so I appreciate you all tuning in. If you're listening to this after the fact, put #replay. I will put the link for the 12-strand activation down below. Hi, Kim. Oh my God, I love you so much. Wendy, great to see you. This is what I call a full immersion into your being. So I love you all. Thanks for sharing your time with me today. And thanks, Lindy, for sharing your insight and wisdom. And we're going to continue to do more sessions and do some other things behind the scenes to help her fully integrate. And part of my process with you is letting you see an authentic mother. Yeah. like I adopted her. She's my adopted child now. But we always bring in what I call soul groups. And I do feel like there's a part of us that's connected in some way that way. Yeah. You know, and so, but anyway, link in the comments. I also have Costa Rica if you're interested in that, which is going to include this 12-strand activation and wealth and poverty vows. I will be in Costa Rica I'll put that link in there too. And I'm also offering mini sessions for a ridiculously insane amount of $222, which does not happen, as you know. Normally my sessions for business or intuitive sessions are usually around $1,200 for the hour. So go book all of that below. I love you all. I will be bringing another testimonial from an active client right now of mine for, I don't know, 3.5 years or so. But love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.